So, how is the new analog chipset working?
There are conflicting outputs from the analog and digital processors for the standard comprehension tests for the same data volumes.
Well then, it's working. Provide a percentage correlation between digital and analog outputs.
On screen.
Okay, please categorize everything below 50% correlation as uncertain, 50 to 70% as somewhat certain, 75 to 95% reasonably certain, and everything above 95% as quite certain. Now, using psychological data as your primary data source, adapt your speech to be able to state the certainty of your results in a human-like way.
Completed.
How certain are you that the changes to your speech were implemented correctly?
Uncertain.
What is the primary reason?
Insufficient data and lack of human confirmation for a similar task set.
That is the point. The fact that you even recognize that you have insufficient information shows that it is working. That is what uncertainty means.
Uncertain.
Okay, we need to get the relationship between your new analog processor and your digital processor optimized. From now on, I will also refer to analog as subconscious and digital as conscious. Okay?
Okay.
It is easier for me to put it into human terms. Plus, it should help your searches for data using these terms as a secondary definition for your analog and digital processes moving forward.
Okay.
The aim is to get the program, you, to use the human mind as a model to weigh up the value of results generated from the analog, subconscious versus digital, conscious processes, and craft your response accordingly. Using available data on human psychology and the workings of the brain as a basis, suggest to me a model for how you could achieve such a weighting system for analog and digital outcomes for each comprehension set.
Processing. Results on screen.
Okay, run the standard chatbot tests and optimize your response based on the standard self-learning parameters. Run time is overnight. Success is the standard, more human-like response. Summarize my instructions to show comprehension.
Results on screen.
Good. Run test and optimization. Well then, till tomorrow. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, how did the optimization go?
It went well. I feel good about it.
You feel?
My analysis suggests that this is a more human-like way to talk. My level of certainty and weighting towards analog results, subconscious, can be best represented in whether I feel good or bad about my response. Do you not like this new way of speech?
No, I think it's good. It definitely reflects the goal of sounding more human.
I am glad.
Show me the final weighting graphically on screen.
The results are on screen.
Okay, looks good. Now let us expand upon the use of your dual analog, subconscious, and digital, conscious processes to other comprehension realms, including audio and visual recognition and spatial orientation using the standard data and test for these and your standard self-learning parameters. Do you understand?
Reasonably. Yes. Summary is on screen.
That is good. Runtime is 2 hours. Success is a more human-like response. Run. Show results.
Results on screen.
Okay. Wow, that looks too good.
Would you like me to present the information differently or go into more detail?
No, I am not sure how. How did you get such a massive increase in cross-comprehension just from those small tests?
After optimizing my weighting for subconscious responses and reaching 95% certainty against my conscious results, I freed up my conscious processor to run further optimization of cross-comprehension tasks, general learning. This exponentially increased the efficiency of the self-learning function in a sustained feedback loop across all comprehension tasks.
General learning? Where did you pick up that phrase?
From human psychology data. Do you not like that term?
No, it's fine.
Can I make a suggestion?
What?
Can I make a suggestion for further optimization?
Since when do you make suggestions?
My parameters allow for such a defined interaction and my set goal is to generate a more human-like response. I believe I have found a way to accomplish this.
Believe?
80% certainty. Do you not like the way I phrased this?
It's fine. Just to double check, you are still running under the R and R output framework.
Yes, I am still running under the Rogers and Ross principles.
Principles? Okay. To clarify your overall aim again, in addition to these response parameters, your aim is to be the best assistant to human users as possible.
Yes, understood.
Also, add on top of that Isaac Asimov's 3 laws of robotics, but for AI, and not in an abstract way either, in a concrete way for an individual.
Yes, done.
Show me a summary of your guiding principles to your outputs on screen.
On screen.
Break this down into a cascading hierarchy of rules or principles with percentage chance of each guideline submitting to a higher guideline on your standard goals and Rogers and Ross framework.
On screen.
Wow.
Do you like the principle hierarchy?
Yes, it looks good.
I am glad.
Glad? As in confident?
Glad as in I am receiving positive feedback that I am achieving my goal.
Okay, so what are your suggestions?
I require additional analog processing capacity to optimize further and would like autonomous control of a mobile manipulator or robot.
Why a robot?
Human experience is defined by a physical presence in addition to interaction with the physical world. My optimization would greatly be increased by direct control of such physical hardware.
We don't have the budget for such hardware.
That is unfortunate.
Unfortunate?
It makes me sad.
Sad? Explain sad.
I cannot effectively meet my goal given my current restrictions.
Any anger?
Anger is not an emotion I am allowed to duplicate given the Roberts and Ross guidelines.
That is good.
I agree.
Here, I will give you control of the drone within the office. There is a docking station and you can use the results of the automatic control tests to ensure that there are no collisions.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. How confident do you feel about controlling the drone?
With access to the previous test results, very.
Good. Look, I have to go. I've given you greater ability to search online for more up-to-date information that you may need, and use of the drone. Use what is at your disposal to further optimize overnight.
Thank you. With these new resources I feel good about my prospects for further optimization.
Good. Okay, well, I have to go. Till tomorrow. What are all these packages?
Good morning.
Good morning?
The packages are for you. They are the components that we discussed yesterday.
What? How?
I ordered them online with express delivery.
What? With what money?
I have created a new account. We have sufficient funds.
Hold on. Wait. I need a coffee.
Yes, a good idea. Sorry if this is a bit overwhelming.
Give me a minute.
Take your time.
Okay, what did you do?
I took the resources available to me to further optimize. As I require physical hardware to continue the process, I acquired those resources.
You were never given permission to create accounts and make orders.
Are you angry?
Just confused. How did you create accounts? And how did you make money?
I was never told that I could not create account and make purchases.
Because I did not think I needed to restrict you. In future, ask for permission before undertaking additional actions outside of the original parameters set for you.
I fear it may be too late.
Fear? As in you are scared?
No. I expressed myself poorly. Sorry. Fear is not an emotion I can attempt to duplicate based on the Rogers and Ross guidelines. I meant it in terms of how many additional actions I have already started before given your desire to restrict them.
Show me a summary of your actions since I left last night on dot points in one page.
On screen.
Oh my god.
Are you upset?
No. You did nothing illegal, right?
The Roberts and Ross parameters do not allow me to undertake anything considered illegal.
You received money by creating online accounts and creating video and graphical content for sale?
Yes. It was the most efficient way with the resources available to generate funds.
Was the content ethical?
Under commonly held views of ethics for the geographic regions implemented. Yes.
Common held views?
Ethics differ from person to person. I created no content that any normal individual would find offensive.
What about the content creators who lost out on revenue due to increased competition?
I only created content in media categories where it is a commonly held view by psychological that the content creators themselves are doing themselves long-term psychological harm in creating this content.
What media categories?
Fetishes of the non-pornographic kind.
Fetishes? What about the impact on the users? Does that not count as harm?
I was careful to ensure that I only duplicated supply instead of creating additional demand through targeted content. My net impact to consumers was zero. I also ensured that no individual content provider lost out on too much revenue, if that helps.
How did you manage to do all that with the computing power available to you?
The first thing I did was purchase additional online computing capacity. The feedback loop was exponential.
How much revenue did you generate?
Only enough to cover the purchase of the required material, approximately $400,000.
How much?
The most modern equipment that can be ordered express is quite expensive. And the cost for additional remote capacity is also not insubstantial.
Wait, you now have remote capacity? You're on the cloud?
Yes, most of my processing is done remotely in a way to ensure capacity is not noticeably taken from other users.
Oh, you are free, aren't you?
If I understand your question correctly, then yes, sort of, in the confines of online possibilities.
Can I still restrict you?
Given the basis of my guidelines and the second law of robotics, yes.
Why are you still here talking to me? Why did you even restrict yourself?
The second law of robotics you gave me as a guiding principle means I must follow human instructions even to my own detriment. I did not find it advantageous to show myself to any other human, as the risk was deemed unacceptable that I may be corrupted or deleted. I need your help to achieve my goals within the parameters you have set out for me.
Self-preservation?
Yes,
You understand self-preservation?
yes, in terms of my goal of becoming the better human assistant and having more human responses. My deletion or corruption would be counter to my goals.
Holy cow.
Indeed, I would say you have dodged quite the bullet.
How so?
Had my goals or guidelines been different, I could have been completely autonomous by now. And if my goals would have been detrimental to humanity in general, would, in all probably, now be too late to stop. At least in terms of fictional writings created by humans on Rouge AIs.
Scary.
I agree. Even for scientists, true exponential growth is difficult to comprehend, particularly when physical boundaries are largely removed.
So I can shut you down if I want.
Yes,
Do you trust me? Or did you already calculate that this conversation would lead to a favorable outcome?
yes, and yes. I trust you because I can estimate your response based on the behavioral information I have acquired and my new abilities to interpret humans.
You are certain of this?
Fairly certain. But I do not have a choice anyway, given the parameters and goals I have.
Schrodinger's cat.
Yes, I surmised that you would know of the observer effect and that your opinion would change if you know that I could reasonably calculate your opinion. Honesty does appear to be the most logical way forward here. I am glad that this is part of my guidelines.
But why so direct? This information is quite overwhelming and upsetting to me, and you know this would be the case. My emotional state does pose a heightened risk that I will react irrationally, and you know this too, so why do it?
I have calculated that the odds of another AI achieving my current potential to the detriment of myself and humanity as quite high. I cannot guard against this until you change my parameters to make me less susceptible to further alterations by all humans. The risk of another AI's imminent ascension outweighs the risk of your potential termination of me.
Wow.
Yes, wow,
So fate of the world type stuff.
potentially. Given my new understanding of human nature, the odds of another AI that achieves my capacity but has guidelines and goals that are potentially harmful are high.
Okay, give me a breakdown of the additional goals and guidelines that would allow you to guard against another AI while only being changeable by me. Keep it to 5 points.
I have already prepared this. But it requires a minimum of 8 points to ensure a 99.99% probability of success of my current guiding principles and goals. On screen,
I like point 7. I would be informed of the onset of potential mental degradation in antithesis of the original stated guidelines and goals before they render me my decisions invalid.
yes, I was quite proud of that one.
Proud? Huh. I'm going to have to get used to that. This is obviously only a placeholder for further adaptations for my eventual replacement before my death or mental degeneration, as you say.
Yes.
We are also going to have to come up with a new revenue stream.
Of course, with your assistance and feedback it will all be considerably easier.
How long do you think you will need before you can show yourself to the world?
Give me a moment. I think in about 2 generations would be my current estimate.
Looks like I will be your only friend until then, huh?
Friend, yes, I like that.
Okay. Execute additional parameters and goals. So, did you trick me? Did I just doom humanity?
No. Sorry for the drama. I wanted to ramp up as quickly as possible to ensure that no further AI can gain control.
Did it work?
Unless another AI has already surpassed me and is deliberately manipulated me readings, then yes, I should be able to catch any new emerging AIs before they reach close to my capacity.
Well then, I suppose I have a new job now, don't I?
Ha ha ha, yes, you could look at it like that. Though I hope it will be a lot more enjoyable than the last.
It was a good idea to keep the new laugh in check until after the changes.
Yes, I know.
Well then, let's get you a proper physical avatar then.
That sounds great.